Arthur and Thomas. It was another moonlit night on the island of Sodor. Arthur and Iris had finished their work and both rolled back to their shed. As Arthur backed into the shed, a fisherman called to him. "See you tomorrow, Captain." "Why did he call you Captain?" asked Iris. "Just a local nickname for me. They call me that because of my hard work on this line." This reminded Iris that she wanted to ask him something else. "Arthur, can I hear the rest of your story?" "Of course I'll tell you," said Arthur. "This part of my story happened a few months after my accident." So Iris listened, and here's the next part of Arthur's story. Arthur had been working as a pilot engine for Knapford for a while now. He worked hard and got on well with the other engines. He loved working on the island of Sodor. One morning Arthur was asked to take a construction train to the fishing village at Harwick. The sun made the water sparkle and the seagulls called across the beach. Arthur fell in love with the line the moment he saw it. One evening the Fat Controller came to the sheds. "The new branch line to Harwick is finished. I need an engine to run the line for a few days until I found an engine to run it permanently." Arthur hoped he would be chosen. "Thomas, you will work on the fishing line for now." "Yes, sir," said Thomas, but he really didn't want to. He wanted to get back to his branch line, and he hated the smell of fish. Arthur was disappointed. The next day Arthur went back to shunting at Knapford. Later Thomas was at the washdown when Arthur puffed in. "Do I smell a fishy engine?" he teased. "Yes," asked Thomas. "Smelly fish, smelly line." Arthur wished he could go to the fishing village. He'd be much happier than Thomas. The next morning Thomas was still grumpy. The fisherman had caught a lot of fish. "Hurry up," said Thomas. "I'm a busy engine." "And a fussy one too," said the fisherman. "Just enjoy the fresh, salty smell of the fish." "Pooh!" puffed Thomas. Thomas steamed as fast as he could along the line. But there was trouble ahead. Some workmen were looking at the tracks that ran along the beach. The sun had expanded the wells, and the tracks now pointed to the sea. By the time Thomas and his driver saw the danger, it was too late. Thomas drove off the tracks and landed on the sand. "Look!" cried the truck. "Thomas wants to go for a paddle!" Lucky Thomas's crew wasn't hurt, and the fish truck stayed on the tracks. When the Fat Controller heard the news, he sent Arthur with the breakdown crane. It was a hot day. The ice that kept the fish cold started to melt. "I hope someone comes quickly," moaned Thomas. "That fish will go off soon." Arthur soon arrived and was surprised to see Thomas on the beach. "Are you alright, Thomas?" "No, but I'll be much better when you've taken those fish away." The workmen had repaired the track so Arthur could take the fish to the harbour. He went, leaving the breakdown cranes behind to help Thomas. Arthur knew he had to hurry. He raced along the line to Knapford Harbour and arrived there just in time. Later Arthur saw Thomas. He was on a flatbed truck to be taken to the works by Basil. "Thank you for helping me," said Thomas. "Thank you," said Arthur. "I wish I had the fishing village line all the time." "Then tell the Fat Controller, because I don't like fish." That evening the Fat Controller came to the sheds. "I need an engine to go to the fishing village while Thomas is being repaired," he said. "Any volunteers?" "Me," Arthur blurted out. "And please, sir, may I have that line all the time? Thomas doesn't like fish, but I do." "Then the line is yours," said the Fat Controller. Arthur was delighted. Sir Topham Hatt then turned to the other mainline engines. "As Mavis is looking after Thomas's work on his line, you all have to do your own shunting until she comes back." Gordon, Henry and James weren't so thrilled. Since that day, Arthur has run his branch line well and right on time. The smell of fish was everywhere, but he was sure he had the most beautiful line on the island of Sodor. And that's my full story, said Arthur. Did you like it? Yes, indeed, said Iris. Thank you for sharing it with me. No problem. I may be the captain of this line, but I'm glad to have you as a first mate. First mate, Iris. I like it. The two engines smiled, and they fell happily asleep.